Yeah, I have heard of this reaction called the flight, when you have to confront people and you're afraid or you feel weak, and that your adversity or your opponent looks too big, and then you take a flight, you run away. So is that healthy to run away? Well, sometimes, but that should not be your habit to run away from having to confront. I mean, sometimes you may have to deal with the conflicts head on. They say, hold the bull by its horn. So in which case, flight is not a suggested remedy. You may have to learn how to deconstruct the hostility or the hostile person and how to enhance your interaction with that person. Maybe approach can be different. The other thing I've heard is to be able to fight and not to run away. Is differentiated from the flight into fight. Well, that is head-on collision, head-on confrontation. Well, that too perhaps is not amounting to cooperation. It may not get you the desired response in the first instance itself, because that could be a very, very last thing to do, to fight. So to enable interaction, and if you discount the flight and the fight, and then you may have to deconstruct the situation and understand the transition of the situation from various little bits, tiny bits, the bite size or baby steps. So if you deconstruct the entire transition, then you will find exactly in which groove, in which slot is the real friction. And then if you identify the friction in a very tiny part of the transition, then the transition can be smooth if in case you smoothen that specific area of friction. So this is the way to perhaps deal with a hostile situation, devoid of fight, and neither fight nor flight. And the next possibility is to avoid. Well, the avoidance is not speaking very high of you. It may not bring some kind of transformation or learning for you, because you're simply in a lower mood is what encourages you to avoid dealing with a situation that perhaps may not give the result in your favor. And another danger is when you surrender totally, when you surrender to the situation and you become submissive, and then also you give upper hand to the hostility, perhaps when it's not required to give an upper hand. So be cautious about fight, be cautious about flight in dealing with the situation, be cautious about avoidance, and be cautious about even surrender. So in short, you need to learn how to understand the change and transition, and then deconstruct the transition into its little elements, and then find a smaller specific area of friction so that you can smoothen it and go over the difficult times and learn to interact, deal with the situation, handle the hostility, and be progressive, move on, move ahead, move forward.